Alright, the simulation is done, and let's have a look at the time consumption. So the first simulation took about 330 seconds, so it's about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And this one took 48 seconds, so it's less than a minute. And finally the hydro simulation took 61 seconds. So overall it's about 7 minutes. And this is what we have after the simulation. You see, it looks very nice and very realistic. Alright, let's have a look at the data channels. Let's have a look at the dirt. So this is the dirt channel, and you can see we still have a bit of dirt sticking on the high slope, the steep slope. But let's have a look at the normalized dirt. Yeah, it looks fine. And let's have a look at the flow. And this is the flow channel. And finally we have the snow channel, and we have very nice looking snow. Let's turn off the normalize option to see the real snow channel. So it looks very nice. Now it is time to make the material for the landscape, and let's render. And it's just a diffuse white like so, but I think we should rotate the sun a little bit. Alright, that's better. It's time to get to work on the shader. So get rid of the principal BSDF and go to the material node, go to the shaders and pull in the quick rock shader and have a look at the quick rock. Now let's configure the rock a bit. Set the size to 0.3 and lower the opacity of the vertical variation, these horizontal lines, to something like 0.25. It's very subtle, right? And reduce the crack depth to 1 meter. There we go. And set the height scale to 0.5. Alright, the rock is looking fine. Let's move on to make the dirt. We can now pull in the dirt channel, the dirt shader. And let's have a look at the dirt. Set the detail size to something smaller, like 0.2. Alright, let's see just the color. So this is the size of the details. By default it was 5, it's something like this, but I find 0.2 to be much better in this case. And since this is a snowy landscape, there shouldn't be a lot of grass, so most of the color should be something like dirt looking color, maybe just a little bit of green here and there, maybe something like that. Anyway, we can always come back to configure these colors later, depending on how the render turned out. And I think the thick grass is a little too much, so I'm gonna lower this to 0.1 or maybe 0.15. Alright, that's better. And again, for the thick grass, we should also set something like dirt looking color. Alright, and increase the sheen weight to 0.5 and set this to 0.65. Alright, and as you can see, the sheen is currently just white, so we need to set the color for the sheen as well. So again, set it to something like dirt looking color. And now we can mix the rock and the dirt together. And then you can go to the utilities category of the material nodes, and you can pull in the landscape data node. There we go. And use the dirt channel to mix the rock and the dirt. And you can use a map range node like this to control, to further refine the dirt map to control how you want to mix the dirt and the rock. For example, I want to get rid of some dirt like that, and I want the transition to be something softer, so I'm gonna set this to 2. So we have softer transition from 0 dirt to maximum dirt. Let's try 4. No, maybe 2 for now. We'll come back here and reconfigure these numbers later. So let's have a look at the final result. It's already looking pretty good, right? I want the dirt to stick on the surface that point up like this, but right now we don't have much dirt in these areas. So to do that, we can use the normal here to select a slope angle, and then use that slope angle to mix some more dirt. So scroll down here, we have this select slope threshold node, pull that in and connect the normal to the custom normal, because right now it's gonna take into consideration the normal, the bump of the rock as well. But if you don't connect like this, it's gonna be based on the geometry and not the normal of the rock. So this is without the custom normal, and this is with the custom normal. You see we have a bunch of details, right? Currently it's selecting the slope. I want to select the surface pointing up like this instead of the slope. So I'm gonna invert the selection. There we go. And then we will combine these two masks together using a math node and set the operation to maximum. And let's have a look at the mask. So you see the mask is now a lot more detailed, and let's have a look at the final result. It looks much nicer, right? Now it is time to mix all of this with the snow channel. So I'm gonna create a new diffuse shader. There we go. Just leave it blank like this, and mix this diffuse with the mix shader. And once again we are gonna use the landscape data node, but this time we will use the snow channel. So right away you can see it looks very nice, but as you can see, the simulation is not a true representation of the real world. There is a lot of missing details. For example, I want some snow sticking on these areas, but all the snow kind of fell away because the resolution of the landscape is not high enough to hold that kind of details. So we need to procedurally add the details using shader nodes. Once again, we're going to be using the select slope threshold node. And once again, we're going to put in the custom normal. And we will invert this to be something like this. And I'm going to set this to 55 degrees. There we go. Alright. Now we can combine the snow mask and the slope mask together using another math node. Alright, let's have a look at the mask. But you can see we have some values beyond the range of 0 to 1, but that's fine because this factor will only take in 0 to 1. Anything higher than 1 will be clamped down to 1. So let's have a look. That's a lot better, right? So you see the snow is a lot better on the mountain, but now the snow is covering pretty much everywhere, and I don't like that. I want this valley to have no snow. Alright, so to do that, I'm gonna use a select height threshold node. And let's have a look at the select height, and let's increase the blend distance. Let's say 450, that's better, and increase the threshold to 400. That's better. And now we can multiply this with the existing mask. So now the mask was cleared at the lower altitude. So let's replace the mask and see the result. Now this transition is still somewhat unnatural, but we're gonna be scattering a bunch of trees, so we won't see this transition whatsoever. So that's fine, we can just leave it as is. Alright, the snow is looking pretty good, but we can make it even better by using the flow channel. However, let's go back here and take a look at this flow channel. It's flow 2, not flow. So in the shader editor, you can't use this snow output of this node, but instead you have to manually pull in the attribute called flow 2. There we go. And let's take a look. So you see this is the flow 2 channel, and we can use this to further enhance the snow layer. Alright, once again we just use a add node. Let's have a look at the result. So you see that's a lot better, and I think we should move on from making the shader for now. Depending on how the render turns out, we may or may not come back here to tweak the material later on. So anyway, let's just leave everything as is for now.